Section 1.9 Inverse Functions. This video is about when function has inverse function and how to find the equation of an inverse function. What is the inverse function of f? The inverse function of f will undo the changes made to independent variable x by the function f. And we denote the inverse function of f as f to the negative 1. When two functions are inverses, given two invertible functions f of x and g of x, then g of x is the inverse of f of x if the following conditions are met. Number 1, g of f of x is equal to x for every x in the domain of f, and f of g of x is equal to x for every x in the domain of function g. Horizontal line test for inverse function. A function has an inverse function if and only if any horizontal line drawn through the graph intersects the graph of f at exactly one point. If the horizontal line drawn through the graph of f intersects the graph at two or more points, then the function has no inverse. Example 1. Apply the horizontal line test. Does this function have inverse? So let's draw the horizontal line, and you can see this horizontal line intersects this graph at one point. So this function has inverse. Example 2. Does this function has inverse? So let's draw the horizontal line, and you can see a horizontal line drawn through the graph intersects one point, second point, and third point. So the horizontal line drawn through this graph intersects the graph at 3 points, I mean more than 1 point. So we can say, okay, this function has no inverse. So here is example 3. Does the following function have inverse function? So we can plot this. X is negative 2, y is 3, this point. X is negative 1, y is 1. X is 0, y equals 0, this point. And then x is 1, y is 1. And then x is 2, y is 3. And now if we draw the horizontal line, it crosses these 2 points. Similarly, there's another horizontal line drawn. It passes the 2 points. So by the horizontal line, this table does not have inverse. So the first thing is you are given a function, you have to find out if it has inverse. So once you know that it has inverse, then the next thing is you have to find inverse. Now how to find inverse function? There are 4 steps. First thing you do, replace the function f of x by y. And then in number 2, interchange x and y. And then number 3, solve for y. And number 4, replace the y by f inverse x in the new equation. Example 4, using the table to find an inverse function. Use the table of values for y equal to f of x to complete a table of y is equal to f inverse x. So here is a table. So the top row has a dollars x values, and that this is y is euros. So we just interchange these x and y's. So we get a table of inverse function. So now x is 80 and y is 100, and the x is 120 and y is 150, and x is 160 and y is 200, and x is 200 and y is 250. So we have interchange. So this is the inverse function of this function f of x. Example 5. So we are given function f of x equal to square root of 3x minus 2, and first we want to know if it has inverse. So you first need to graph this one. So let's see, I create a table and I chose 2x 2/3 and substitute here and simplified, it gives me y equal to 0. Then I choose x equal to 1 and substitute it here and gives me 1, and then I substitute 2 and the equation gave me 2. So now I can plot this point right here, and then 1 1 is here, and then 2 2 is basically here, and then I connect this one and it gives me the graph of f of x. Now I want to apply the horizontal line test, so I will draw a line through the graph. This is, and it looks like this intersects at one point. So by the horizontal line test, this function has inverse. So now I will find the inverse. So I will write the equation f of x equal to square root of 3x minus 2. The first thing I will do, I will replace the f of x by y and just copy here square root of 3x minus 2. And the next thing I will do, I will interchange x and y. In other words, y I'll change to x, and I just copy this one here, but I change x to what? Y. Now I need to solve this equation for y. So in order to do that one, because y is under the radical sign, I will square both sides. So x becomes x squared, and it becomes square of square root of 3y minus 2. And we know square of square root, they cancel each other and give me 3y minus 2. Now I have to isolate y, so what I will do, I will move the 3y to the left side and x squared to the right side, and I get negative 3y equals to negative x squared minus 2. So now I will divide both sides by negative 3. So I will have negative 3y over negative 3 minus x squared minus 2 divided by negative 3. So negative 3 and negative 3 cancel, it gives me y. And this I will simplify. It looks like I can factor negative. It gives me x squared plus 2 over negative 3. So the negative and negative cancel, and I get y equal to x squared plus 2 over 3. And I'll just replace the y by f inverse of x. So this is my answer, f inverse of x equal to x squared plus 2 over 3. And that's the equation of the inverse function of this given function. So here is an example 6. Now the function is f of x equal to x minus 5 over 7. So first I need to find out if it has inverse. So what I will do, I will sketch this one. So it looks like I just choose 2 point. Let's see, I can choose x equal to 0, and then y become negative 5 7. So it'd be right here or somewhere here. And I'll pick another point, and I say maybe I can choose x equal to 5 and substitute here to give me 0. So another point, and connect this one. So that's the graph of this function, a line. Now I will apply the horizontal line test. So in order to do that, I need to draw a line and check and the horizontal line intersects the graph at how many points. So it looks like no matter where I draw the horizontal line, it will intersect the graph at one point. So by the horizontal line test, I can say that this function does have inverse. So since I know this has inverse, so I will write the equation, and first step I will do, I will replace the f of x by y. So this becomes y equal to x minus 5 over 7. And then second step is I will interchange x and y, which means I will change y to x and x to y. So now I have x equal to y minus 5 over 7. So now I have to solve for y. So it looks like I need to multiply both sides with 7. So it becomes 7 times x and 7 times y minus 5 over 7. Well, these 7's cancel out. So you have a 7x equal to y minus 5. So I can isolate the y on the right side. So all I have to do is just take the negative 5 to the left side, or just add 5 both sides. So in this case, I'm adding 5 both sides. So I have a 7x plus 5 equals to y minus 5 plus 5. So you can see they cancel out. So I get 7x plus 5 equals to y. Just rewrite, so I got y equals 7x plus 5. So I have found the inverse. So I'm going to replace the y by f inverse x equal to 7x plus 5, and that's the inverse equation of or equation of inverse function of this given function f of x. And that's the end. Thanks for watching. Subscribe and like it. It is free. Okay? But you will get my videos whenever I'll make it and post it.